안녕하세요 여러분, 해외입시맘입니다. 오늘은 캐나다의 Rosseau Lake College의 데이브 크라커 교장선생님을 저희가 모시고 캐나다 학교에 대해서 좀 알아보는 시간을 가지겠고요. 또 두 번째는 OSSD 프로그램이라는 캐나다의 좋은 프로그램에 대해서 여러분께 설명을 드리고자 합니다. Hi David.
Hi.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming and then talk about Canadian schools. So first, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
It's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you again for having me here. As Sarah said, my name is Dave Crocker. I'm the head of school at Rosseau Lake College. I am the head of school, meaning I oversee all operations of the school, and therefore I have a very good sense of what we require and demand of our students, and I'm in a position where I'm able to support all of the programs at the school.
So I looked through the school, and then it's a very beautiful school with a beautiful campus on the river, so peaceful. But I'm sure that all the Korean parents or students haven't heard about your school. So can you briefly explain about where the location and then the number of student body?
Absolutely. So we're in the province of Ontario, and we are 2.5 hours north of Toronto. We are on the shore of beautiful Lake Rousseau, which is in the Muskoka region. Muskoka is a very famous region. It's sometimes called the Hamptons of the North. Many of the elite professional athletes, a lot of the National Hockey League hockey players have cottages on the lake, and many of Canada's rich and famous and a lot of Hollywood actors are there. So it is a lovely region that we are located in. So Rosseau Lake College has 56 acres of beautiful forest. We have 3,000 feet of shoreline, again, as I mentioned, on Lake Rousseau. So we are blessed with what is truly a world-class location. And it is stunning. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And how diverse is the student body? Like how many nationalities?
That's right. So we have over 23 nationalities, and that means students from literally everywhere in the world, from Africa to Europe, parts of Asia, Central and South America, and of course our domestic students from Canada.
Okay, right. And you said it's a very kind of a family-like school with small number of students. How many overall, like the number of the students in your school?
Right now we have 130 students. The school would expand up to 145, but we are very careful to keep our school intentionally small. And the reason is that we're able to give a lot of personalized attention to each and every student. One of the things I love, Sarah, is in the morning when we gather in a circle outside to begin the day is our assembly, and we offer gratitude. And I look around the circle and I know each and every student well. And that's rare for a head of school. And I think that's very special. And I think families really appreciate the fact that their student is known and that they have a very strong sense of belonging there.
Oh, right. That's really the real beauty of, I think, your school. Unfortunately, I think Canadian schools or Canadian teaching methodology or curriculum are not very, are kind of underestimated, are not really well known in Korea. So one of the a curriculum that you have is OSSD, which is very famous in Canada, but which is not really well known in other countries. So could you introduce us the OSSD programs and then what the advantages are?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. The interesting thing about the OSSD, which stands for the Ontario Secondary School Diploma, is even when I was at major international schools, we would use parts of that curriculum in the international schools that I was at. What I love about the OSSD is it is a pathway to any university university of program of choice across Canada, the United States, even into Europe. And we recently had a student graduate that went to a wonderful university in Australia, the University of Melbourne. So we see that it is a very well-renowned curriculum. What I love about the OSSD is it is very research-based around best practices in education. And educators love it because it is a very progressive and innovative style that requires teaching approaches, assessment approaches that lead to the type of thinkers and learners that universities and employers are looking for. Critical thinking, creative problem solving, strong communicators and collaborators. These core critical thinking skills are truly encouraged and supported by the OSSD.
Yeah, hearing you talk about OSSD, it sounds like a wonderful program. Recommend like OSSD like a course for the students like who struggle with AP or IB?
Absolutely. I have run the AP program in major international schools. I've run the IB program in international schools, and I've taught both. The OSSD has far more flexibility, and therefore students can customize a little bit more of their program of studies. Therefore, it better prepares them for the next steps going into university and the type of careers that they would like to pursue. The other thing that I would encourage for those students that are struggling maybe with the AP or the IB programs is it's because they're very rigid. And the styles of assessment are very, very difficult for the students. The other thing about those programs is it's still a very heavy emphasis on a set curriculum that maybe doesn't speak to the students' inner passions and interests. The OSSD has far more creativity and, as I mentioned, flexibility to it, where the students can really demonstrate their passion and understanding, which I think is a very important value.
지금 이렇게 보면은 OSSD 프로그램이 AP나 IB에 비해서 좀 유연성이 있다고 말씀을 하셔서 제가 그 부분에서 조금 더 구체적으로 물어보도록 하겠습니다. So, like speaking about flexibility and the creativity, you mean like compared to AP or IB curriculum? I think that is the question that a lot of parents are very interested in. Could you be more specific, like what kind of flexibility that OSSD program offers?
Absolutely. So in the OSSD, students will still pursue what we would often call a traditional curriculum of a very strong mathematic program, English language arts, social studies, history, and of course the classic sciences of chemistry, physics, and biology. It is all of the different electives and options that is the creativity and the flexibility to the program that I'm referring to. And there are literally hundreds of different courses that the students can pursue, which allows them again to demonstrate their areas of interest. I think this is important not only for developing their lifelong learning skills and attitudes, but this is what major universities in the United States, in Canada, and in Europe are asking for. They want to see a wide repertoire. They want to see a big range of knowledge and skill sets and students that, again, the OSSD would allow them.
그러니까 이게 AP나 IB에서는 정해져 있는 과목들 중에서 선택을 해야 되는데 그 과목에서 맞지 않으면 학생들이 좀 힘들어하거나 성적을 못 받을 수 있는데 OSSD 같은 경우는 상대적으로 과목 선택수가 많기 때문에 좀 더 학생들이 유리할 수 있는 점이 있을 것 같네요. 이 부분 참고해 주시면 좋을 것 같습니다. So last question was, so last year I had a student like attending Canadian schools in Hong Kong, and I was surprised to learn that. So he was typical Korean student struggling with IB because he joined the school like later in secondary school. But I was surprised by the fact that the school offered OSSD and he didn't know it. So he was just continuing in IB program where he was struggling so much. So I think the major question that we have is, as a parents, that we have is that so still with OSSD, that can students apply to ED schools, like which is November 1st in U.S. college application?
Yes, they can.
Oh,
and we've had students do this. Recently, we had 2 graduates from Rosseau Lake College last year that went to 2 major schools in the United States.
So overall, like I think today was a very good time for Korean parents or students to understand deeply about OSSD education. Thank you so much for your time. So what would you say like the advantages of your school, just to end?
And the third is wellness. We know in this age that the generations that we are facing right now are extremely anxious.
Right.
There's a ton of pressure on them, and we are seeing in the world the impact on these young people and their mental health.
Right.
And it's very concerning. We focus a lot on balance. We offer an incredibly strong academic program, but we really demand our students are very active in all of the different sports and clubs, and we want them to be balanced and grounded because that's going to lead them to a happy and successful life.
How many sports clubs or activities do you have?
Well over 25.
Wow, 25.
So it's everything from, we have an on-campus snowboarding terrain park, we do a great sailing program, canoeing, kayaking, we do rock climbing, we do all the traditional sports.
All outdoor activities.
A lot of outdoor activities, and we are very blessed with a beautiful natural environment.
Lastly, I heard that you offer like 2 openings for the students. Could you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So we are able to admit students both in the first semester in September or in the second semester in January.
Wow.
And again, we're one of the only schools that is on a semestered program.
이것도 되게 좋은 포인트 같은데 보통 유학을 결정을 갑자기 하셨는데 1, 2월에 받아준 학교들이 잘 없기도 해요. 보통은 이제 외국 학교들이 다 9월 학기 시작을 하는데 러셀 레이크 칼리지 같은 경우에는 2번의 기회가 있다고 합니다. 9월 학기, 그 다음 1월 학기가 있기 때문에 유학을 중간에 결정을 하셨거나 그리고 좀 더 이제 유학에 대해서 준비를 늦게 알게 되신 분들한테는 되게 좋은 학교가 될 수 있을 것 같네요. 여러분 도움 되셨으면 좋겠습니다. Okay. Thank you so much, Dave.
Thank you, Sarah.
여러분 오늘은 데이브 교장선생님을 모시고 또 여러분이 이제 잘 알지 못하셨던 캐나다의 되게 소규모 그런 기숙학교인 러셀 레이크 칼리지를 소개해드렸고 OSSD를 소개해드렸는데 영상에 대해서 이제 앞에 번역본을 좀 잘 보시고 또 궁금한 점은 댓글로 남겨주시면 답변 드리도록 하겠습니다. 네, 영상 시청 감사합니다.